Okay, let's see how we did. Number 6. You might have your numbers in the reverse order because remember with negatives when we go from least to greatest, -4 is a lot smaller than -3. Uh-oh, did you fall for my trick? So when you're thinking about these numbers, negative radical 13, you can think about squaring all these numbers. So I'm going to square all of them, but still keep them negative. So that's another way you can think about these numbers. So when I'm looking at these, -4, which is -16, is the smallest number. So you still have to remember, even though you're squaring, the original values were negative. So we go -4, negative radical 30, -3 and 5/10, and then -3 is our biggest or greatest number. Looking at number 7, we go 50, 36, 49, 42.25, 42. So it's 6, radical 42, 6 and a half, 6 and 5/10, 7, and then radical 50. Let's take a look at number 8. Number 8 asks you to find a rational number, a ratio, right, or repeating or terminating decimal. Another way to remember it was it can be written as a fraction. And it needs to be smaller than all these numbers. So what we need to know is which of these numbers is the smallest. Well, 6 is radical 36, 7 is radical 49, and 6.5, well, from above, we have that 6.5 is squared is 42 and 25/100ths from above. And then we have radical 42. So which is the smallest number under the radical? Aha, 6. So any number, any rational number less than 6. So we have lots of negatives. Oh, the possibilities are endless. 1/2, 2/3, 5 halves, 0.385, 5.9 repeating. As long as it's a terminating decimal or a repeating decimal or can be written as a fraction, we're in the clear. So I would like you to figure out 9 and 10. So let's work on 9 and 10 with your groups. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to talk about them. Please pause the video for 3 minutes and then we'll go over 9 and 10. Pause the video for 3 minutes, please. Awesome. Let's figure out what we found out. Number 9, an irrational non-negative number that's smaller than all these numbers. So the first thing we need to figure out is the smallest of the numbers. So again, it's the same list of numbers. So of course, the smallest number is still the same. The smallest number is still 6. So we need a positive irrational number less than 6. So the answers will vary. One thing that I think of when I talk about an irrational number is always the square root of a non-perfect square. If you take the square root of a non-perfect square, it's definitely irrational. So here, I know it needs to be less than 6. Radical 35 is less than 6. Radical 34 is less than 6. Radical 33, radical 32, radical 31, radical 30, radical 29, radical 28, radical 27, radical 26. Why did I skip radical 25? Oh, because that's a rational number. That equals 5, and we need irrational numbers. And then I continue down my list. What if you need a number between radical 42 and 6.5? Well, remember 6.5 is 42.25 if I square that. And if I square radical 42, I get 42. So some square root between 42 and 42.25. So 42.24, 6.49, 6.48 we can think about. Notice 6.48 is 41.9904. Radical 42.10. But what we can think of is you can break up these radicals, and this can also be helpful for you. Break up these radicals into, it's between 42 and 0.25, so 42.0, 42.1 I have, 42.2, and if I think about 42.25 being my endpoint, 42.21, 42.22, 42.23, numbers that are in between them. So thanks for taking the time. Whatever time's left, you can work on your homework. I will see you next week. Thanks for doing your best, being nice to everyone. And again, have a nice weekend. Thank you for being kind.